Hey everyone, I'm the Broseph one and welcome to my first ever video. I'll be playing Pokemon Platinum on a Nuzlocke run, following a rather specific set of rules. Whenever a Pokemon faints, it actually dies, so there's no going back there. I can only catch one Pokemon per route, which will be the very first encounter on that same route. And these are the standard rules of any Nuzlocke run. And on top of these, I'll also be playing on set mode. I won't be using any items during battles, but held items such as type boosters or berries are allowed. I won't be using my starter Pokemon or any gift Pokemon whatsoever, as well as static encounters and legendaries, so I won't be able to use these Pokemon. I can't use fishing rods, and I'll use the same number of Pokemon as the gym leader in gym battles, as well as a level cap according to their respective ace Pokemon. Finally, I'll disregard Dupes clause in this game, meaning that this could very well be my team. I hope you enjoyed this series, in which I'll hopefully be able to make it through all the way until the end. And without further ado,
let's do this!
We start by changing the battle style mode to set, as well as the attack speed to fast. And then we spin the wheel of fate to decide which starter Pokemon we will be choosing. Not that it matters that much, since we won't even be using it at all. And it looks like it's gonna be Piplup. And our rival will have a Turtwig. After crushing our rival with the Pokemon we won't even use anymore, getting an early TM for return, and being taught on how to catch Pokemon, we are finally ready to begin this run. Our official starter Pokemon is a Bidoof. Not much surprise there, and we name it Holidam. Afterwards, we catch a Starly in Lake Verity, which we name Emo Bird, because the Raptor is pretty emo with those bangs. And last but probably least, another Bidoof in Route 201. We name it Chungus. Not big Chungus, just average, normal Chungus. We notice that Starly has an adamant nature.
Nice.
And Chungus has better stats than Olivem, something to bear in mind. We proceed to deposit our Piplup in the PC, where it will stay for the rest of its days. Nothing personal, Piplup, I actually like you. And we only level up Starly for now, not only because it's a more reliable Pokemon, but also because it levels up faster in the early levels. It's a shame that Bibarel doesn't learn Swords Dance in this gen, it only learns it from Gen 7 onwards. And at level 5, Starly learns Quick Attack, which is a huge upgrade over Tackle, which only has 35 base power and 95 accuracy. And I personally hate moves which don't have 100 accuracy. They can be very unreliable. On top of that, Quick Attack is a priority move, which is great. And at level 6, we face the very first trainer in the game, which has a level 5 Starly. I landed a crit, so the battle was very quick and easy. Even so, we used the potion we got from the potion guy to heal our Starly to full HP, to avoid going all the way back to the Pokemon Center, and we trashed the second trainer's Bidoof, thanks to yet another lucky crit. And looks like the Starly might be a very lucky one. Up next is a kid with a Burmy, and no worries there, we take it out very easily as well. And notice our Starly is almost level 9 already, so we defeat a wild Bidoof in order to level up. And we get a very important attack, Wing Attack. So now we can also deal flying type damage, which will be extremely important for our next rival battle. We head to Jubilife City and come across this shady inspector working for the Interpol. Dawn tells us to go to school.
I'm kind of retarded.
But before we do that, we actually go catch our fourth team member. And I was extremely happy to see that it was a Shinx. Not only a Shinx, but a Shinx with Intimidate. Which means we might have the chance to have two Pokemon with Intimidate in our team.
Now, this is epic.
We name her Sparkle and see that she has a lonely nature, which is pretty good. I take this opportunity to level up a bit with these trainers in Route 204 before I head to Ravaged Path and catch our next Pokemon. And what a wonderful surprise! It's a Psyduck! Considering the fact that I banned myself from fishing, water types are going to be scarce, so a Psyduck encounter is really wonderful. Not to mention that it will probably carry us in this first gym. We name her Quack Quack and discover that she has a modest nature. Now ain't that some luck right there? 3 very important Pokemon, all with good natures. I'm starting to like this run, alright. We quickly grab the Quick Claw and proceed to challenge the 2 kids at school. Disappointed that they only gave you a potion. In Diamond and Pearl, they give you the TM for hidden power, but I guess this is to make up for the fact that we get the TM for return given by Rowan, which only happens in Platinum. After talking to 3 clowns with the most obvious Pokemon questions, we get a fancy Pokemon watch, which means that we can now display our team. Look at that. Now it is time for the second rival battle, and I start off with a now level 8 Shinx to take down his Starly, and I save my Starly for his Turtwig. It is quite clear who has the advantage here. He goes for Growl 3 times, significantly reducing my Shinx's attack. Nonetheless, I stay. This is until he lands a crit with a quick attack, and right afterwards I miss my tackle. Remember what I was saying about moves that don't have 100 accuracy? They always seem to let you down when you need them the most. I switch in my Starly, which quickly demolishes both his Starly and Turtwig. Despite the fact that I got unlucky with Shinx, it was still a very easy battle thanks to my Starly, and the fact that my rival has Turtwig. Now that's Piplup coming in clutch indirectly through the PC box. I dodge these trainers for now because I want to get the rest of my encounters first. I get another Bidoof in Route 203. I name him Big Doofus. Yes, very creative, I know. In Orberg Gate, we get HM Rock Smash, as well as Zubat, which is really cool. He won't be helping as much now, but he will be crucial later on in the game, especially when it evolves to Crobat. We name him Dracula because clearly my creativity was missing, and as we maneuver our way towards Orberg City, we head straight to Route 207, where we can catch another Pokemon. This encounter gives us a Geodude, which is not what I was looking for here, considering that the other options, Machop and Ponyta, are much better. It is very likely that I'll encounter another Geodude in Orberg Mine, so that just makes it even more disappointing. We name it Dwayne, just because it's a cool name and has absolutely nothing to do with rocks, no siree. We grab some items laying outside the mine, and we go inside. And as expected, the mine encounter was indeed another Geodude. And to my immeasurable dismay, Starly accidentally kills it with a critical wing attack that dealt an absurd amount of damage. Oh well, such is life, I suppose. I go back to the PC to retrieve the Geodude I was able to catch, and discover that it has a naughty nature, which is pretty great.
Naughty, naughty!
Sadly though, my Zubat is modest, which is very bad for this Pokemon, because we need attack. I end up switching Dwayne with Olidam, which is definitely the weakest of all 3 Bidoofs. Afterwards, I go all the way back and fight every single trainer that I previously skipped. My Psyduck needs to level up a lot, and that is exactly what I'll be doing next. While fighting one of these trainers, my Shinx took a crit from a tackle and was left with only 6 HP. Ouch. If that was a quick attack instead, it might have died. We send in Dwayne to finish it off, and after partnering up with Psyduck to defeat the Shinx, both level up to level 6. I briefly turn my attention back to Route 207, because the wild Machop and Ponyta here provide a very decent amount of XP. In one of these battles, with the Ponyta, Shinx manages to get yet another crit, and thank goodness she was full HP because this crit dealt a whopping 21 damage. Bearing in mind that we got hit with 2 tail whips, of course. Truth be told, I shouldn't have stayed for so long there. After a few battles, Psyduck reaches level 8, and so we decide to go back to those trainers. But we are greeted with a level 7 Zubat, who makes our Psyduck confused. And being the greedy little dumbass I am, I decided to stay, even after Psyduck hit itself twice with confusion. I really thought she would snap out of it, but she hits herself again, leaving her with low HP. Luckily, everything was still in control, since a Leech 5 crit wouldn't kill us. Nonetheless, I really had to time my exits better. On a Psyduck vs Psyduck duel, Quack Quack gets hit with 2 tail whips, so this time I decide to immediately switch out to Starly afterwards, before we would be hit with that scratch. After we defeat a wild Starly, Psyduck levels up to level 9 and learns a very important water gun. Now, she is finally ready to carry us throughout this first gym. Well, not really. She still needs to level up, of course. I defeat the rest of these trainers with Shanks, which I feel that will also come in handy in the gym battle. And she goes from level 9 to almost 13 by the end of the last available trainer. Now all that's left is to level up and level up some more. So I go back to Route 207, and after defeating 2 Machops, my Shinx levels up to 13, learning a very important signature move, Spark. I say it's a signature move simply because her name is Sparkle. I stay for a bit longer and quickly reach level 14, which is exactly the maximum level she can be, before challenging the gym because of the level cap I've imposed. And now I head towards the mine, not only because I have to meet Roark there, but mostly because this will be the quickest and most efficient place to train Psyduck, now that we have Water Gun. Psyduck gets a level 10, 11, and 12. With this level 12, I decide to clear the gym trainers, but I actually entered the gym with my full team. This is something I don't want to do, so in that way, throughout the whole gym, I'll only be able to use the same Pokémon I choose to challenge the leader. In this case, I should have entered the gym with only Psyduck, Shinx, and Geodude, since these are the 3 I have chosen to eventually challenge Roark. Considering our Roark has a Geodude, Onix, and Cranidos, this definitely seems like the best option. Cranidos is going to give me trouble, with its absurdly high attack base stat. Fortunately, it's quite squishy, but still, that headbutt is going to hit strong, for sure. Although there's a level cap, leveling up to 15 during the gym battle itself is allowed, and because of that, I meticulously allow Psyduck to almost reach level 15. But always being too careful, because if it reached 15 before Roark, we couldn't use it. We make one last stop in the Poké Center to heal our party and properly prepare it for the upcoming challenge. I store the unchosen ones in the PC box, like I should have done before battling the gym trainers, and head right into the gym. Here we go. Looking at his squad again, I'm definitely not worried about Geodude or Onix because I know they'll both be an easy one-shot with Psyduck's water gun. But what really worries me is Cranidos. Luckily, he doesn't have any rock moves, but he knows Headbutt, which has a very decent base power and a solid chance to make us flinch. On top of that, he also knows Pursuit, which is a move I find extremely annoying because it deals double the damage to a Pokemon that is switching out before it switches out. And that is something I feel that's gonna happen. Without further ado, let's challenge him. As expected, both Geodude and Onix go instantly down with 1 water gun each. And going into Cranidos with full HP made me feel pretty comfortable, but I still knew that Psyduck was going to need some help defeating it. Despite the fact that it's not particularly a fast Pokemon, Cranidos goes first, and his headbutt deals 19 damage. Luckily, it wasn't a crit, nor did it make us flinch. Water Gun almost takes it out, but Cranidos survives with a little amount of HP. Now, I was almost sure Roark was going for the potion, but I didn't want to risk an unpleasant surprise here, so I decided to switch into Shinx. Fortunately, it didn't use Pursuit and went for the potion instead, but this means that Psyduck could have finished this. I almost take it out with Spark, so I go for another. But this is where I should have actually switched into Geodude. I was afraid that it might go for Pursuit, which would have punished us severely. Fortunately, we didn't get crit, nor did we flinch, and we are finally able to take it down with another Spark. thus ending this battle in a win, and none of my Pokemon died, which is fantastic. It took a little bit of luck, yes, but it was fully deserved. We are given the Coal Badge as well as the TM for Stealth Rock, which might actually come in handy in the future. A good entry hazard move. And so we finished the first part of this Platinum Nuzlocke. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for more. See you next time.